Bo, let's cut straight to the chase. You're already laughing. Tell me about Madison, Alabama real estate. Is this market dead? Because I think it's dead.
No, no.
Tell
Reports of
me.
my death are greatly over exaggerated, is a famous quote attributed to Mark Twain. I would tell you it is not as dead as it appears. However, it has slowed down slightly. Let's just dive straight kind of into the numbers and then we can kind of come back and talk about them. Since we've last talked, Erica, we've had a lot of things happen in our world, from economy stuff to, gosh, we've talked more about tariffs than we ever have. And we've had a kind of a pseudo war. We've had some weird things in the nationwide news. We also obviously have local elections happening. We have a lot of different variables at play, which usually slow down the market slightly. We also have this thing starting in good glory 1 month. That is called school. 1 month. And that slows us down too because people don't want to be transitioning while school starts. So let's kind of dive in and talk about it. So right now we have 5 more listings this month than we did last month. We have 773. Again, just Madison, our 3 zip codes. That's what we're looking at right here. We do have 30 less new listings. So we only have 188 listings. What does this mean? It means not as many people have put their house on the market. But again, we've had a little bit of uncertainty, some worries, some different things of that. Not very shocking. We actually have 518 active listings. So you have total listings, and then you have like pending and different things of that, which we have 255, but we have 518 active listings, which is 10 more than we had. So what we're kind of seeing is just kind of a, what are we doing? It's a little bit of uncertainty. Our months on inventory did kick up a whole, I believe it was at 2 months, and now it's 2.2 months of inventory, and we have 56 days on the market, not 48. So what does that mean? Honestly, our median list price is 450, and our median price per foot is 180. Those barely shifted. 0.5% is what they shifted. So what does that actually mean?
Yeah.
What should we take away from that?
Yeah, tell me.
What we should take away from that is our market is still strong. We are still seeing, we have 500 properties moving. 255 of them are active. 2.2 months of inventory on the market. Again, we say it almost every week. 6 months is considered a balanced market. So sellers, you still have it. But right before we jumped on this, you said my neighborhood is dead.
Did. Our
Dead.
resales are not selling.
And that is several things. One, you've got school starting. That is pretty normal about this time. People have been on vacation. I went on vacation. I went back to Disney. Shocking. But well, Disney and the beach. So we got to hang out there too. But we all are leaving and kind of, are we really going to move now? If I go under contract today on July 7th, I'm not closing until probably August 7th. Literally the day like school is starting. Like, hold on.
Yeah.
That's not what we want to do. So we typically will see that. You also see, especially in Madison, I just told you our median price is list price is $450,000. That includes your buy price, which most of our buying prices are a little bit higher because we have several new builds. A lot of stuff in your neighborhood is brand new builds. But the resales is what we look at a lot. Those are a little bit higher, and when you're paying an interest rate that is 7, it's going to make you go, hold on, I don't want to do that. And so I say all that to say it's slowing, but I'm not worried. If I'm a seller, though, and I want my house to move, guess what I'm going to do? I'm now going to offer to buy down points, or I'm going to pay some of those closing costs. Even though the market says you don't have to. It says we only have 2.2 months on the market. You don't have to, but you want your house to sell. You want your house to sell. So go ahead and offer. If I'm a buyer, I'm coming in with a strong offer, and I'm asking for those things. I'm willing to give you the $450,000 for your house, but I want you to buy down my rate for 3 years.
Okay.
And I want you to give me some closing costs, or leave that fridge, or whatever it might be. I know those sound like silly things, but that's the stuff that we're looking at right now. So the market's still strong. It's just a little bit different than it was 2 months ago, a month ago. But it's an ever-changing market.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting. You said that the average days on the market is 56 days. So 2 months, selling a house can be really challenging. That's a long 2 months of waiting on showings and then prepping for showings. Houses are selling, and that's the average. So in some of the more desirable neighborhoods, price points are a little bit more accessible or desirable. Those houses are flying off quick. And for every house that sells super quick, you've got one sitting for 4 months. So really what I'm hearing is you got to just sit
Correct.
tight.
You got to sit tight. I just had one that I put on the market April, no, 1st of May. Sorry, I'm trying to get my dates right.
Yeah.
And man, we had so few showings. And that's something I would tell sellers. Don't be shocked with few showings right now. Don't be shocked with a
Yeah,
few
tell me
showings.
about that. Yeah, give
Yeah,
me encouragement for
I'm
sellers.
actually it's very strange right now. What we're really seeing here is that like while it takes 56 days to sell, used to be that when a house went on the market, you had 6 showings that weekend.
Right.
I mean, what when we sold your house, Erica, I made you leave. Do you remember? I said I need you not to be here.
I moved out for 48 hours.
And even with that, we didn't have enough showings at yours, but we had been. I put one house on the market that we had. I think this was 21. I think I had 60 showings in 48 hours or something at one point. It was insane. So unfortunately, Madison's kind of gotten accustomed to. Oh yeah, you're gonna have a ton of showings. But my
Mm,
answer is to say, hey, not necessarily. But I had like 4 showings at this house. I got a full price offer asking for closing costs. We close in a week.
okay.
And so, like, we're getting less people looking and it's slower, but we're still moving them. So, if you're a seller, don't be scared and don't be impatient and going, wow, don't call your agent and go, why haven't I had more showings? They're going to say, I don't know. If you put your house up over July 4th and you go, why? It's a holiday weekend. Nobody goes in Madison and Huntsville. We don't look at houses on holidays. I wish I could tell you why we don't. I think it's because everybody's at the lake. Everybody's gone. It's my theory. But be patient and know that, like, ask your agent, is there something more I can do to get more showings? That's a better question than, hey, why are there no showings? And your agent should be, helping you with that. It should be saying, hey, why don't we do this? And what if we did that? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of be
Okay.
patient with them and give them a little time here because the market is different. Your door's not going to be broken down with people looking at it.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have one person walk in and they just offer and they
And
say,
that's
okay,
it. It just takes one buyer. So
one
for
buyer.
people who are watching this because they're moving to Madison, excuse me, they're moving to North Alabama, they have school age kids, they know they really, really want to be in Madison, but to be honest, they're frustrated because of Madison prices
Mm-hmm.
and they can find something bigger and newer in Newmarket, in
Yeah,
Hartsville.
Meridian Mall.
Wonderful
Yeah,
communities, right? Wonderful communities.
wonderful.
But they are tempted to look elsewhere. Is it still worth giving Madison another look and investing in a home in Madison? Thoughts? Ooh, you're hesitating.
Uh, I I'm a homer. I love Madison, Alabama. I live off a county line road. I live right behind Publix. I love it.
We
I
love
drive
it.
home from vacation and I'm like, I love being back here. Look, I work in Huntsville. I love Huntsville too. Don't get me wrong. But in terms of a community, I don't know of a better community out there. And so I need to preface my answer with, hey guys, I'm a homer.
Yeah.
I am I am always going to be a homer, okay? But the answer to the question is that is purely your opinion. If you're moving in and you're saying, "Well, I can get something bigger, badder, more yard, more everything over here." Yes, you can. You're not going to return quite the investment. You'll still return well. You're not going to return quite the investment. You're not going to have quite as good of schools. You're still going to have good schools. The way I describe our school system is I'm a Mississippi State fan, okay, y'all? So everybody make fun of that. But I always tell people when they come from out of town, they go, we have to be in Madison for the schools, right? I go, look, Madison is like the Alabama of the SEC. Like they're the best. They're the standard by which everything is determined. There's several around us that are still great schools, Georgia's and Auburn's and Florida's and and Ole Misses and Mississippi State. There's still great schools that do good anywhere,
I agree.
but you just have an incredible school system
Yeah.
in Madison.
Yeah.
And so, because of that, I tell you, that returns the investment much heavier. And so, I say give Madison another look because you're going to sell a house for more. I looked up the value of my house, just what like our assessor appraised that. Y'all, in the 7 years I've owned it, it's gone up like $250,000, and that's the assessor. Like they're not really that accurate. Don't tell them I said it, but it's pretty crazy. And so I would say give Madison another look, but I'm also the homer, so
No, but you
sorry.
answered it well. If you're looking at a good investment, Madison is worth a heavy consideration. Some of our very dear military friends were back and forth, back and forth, back and forth about Madison, and they ended up in Madison because they don't know if they're going to be here 2 years or 5 years or longer, but they feel much more at peace that when they sell their home, they will hopefully sell. Now, we are not, don't take Beau and I by the Bible, right? Like, we have no clue what'll happen with your home. However,
Well, and it also depends on the deal you got. Look,
right.
if you overbuy,
Yeah.
no matter where you are, you're not going to return as good of an investment.
Yeah.
But for me, the answer is it's just like if you bought Google in the 90s, you're really happy,
Yeah. You're
right?
really
But
happy.
if you had bought Google, everybody said that same phrase in 2010. But Erica, had you bought Google in 2010, you would be really happy right now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thing. Everybody goes, Madison's so expensive. And I go, but we're proving that we're steadily increasing.
Yeah.
And we're so insulated that if the market ever dips, the exterior ones will dip first. Madison should retain value for a little bit longer.
Yeah. It's all
Should.
so interesting. It's such a personal decision. You've
It
given
is.
us such good gold, and I think our buyers and sellers are absolutely going to take away something that's just a little nugget for them to take to the table tonight when they talk to their families about what is inevitably one of the biggest decisions and purchases of your life. Beau.Miles,
Absolutely.
he is the president of Redstone Realty Solutions. He knows real estate inside out and upside down. He has a very calm demeanor to him when it comes to real estate, can do things very objectively. I highly recommend on a bias level of reaching out to him to discuss real estate only because he did help us buy and sell our own home, and he does generally have a creative solution to what your individual unique situation is with buying and selling. Reach out to him and his team. He's president over there for a reason. So thank you so much for weighing in. July 2025, Madison State of the Real Estate Market Address. We'll see you in August.
See you guys.
Thanks.